Hi, can you relate to this? You made something that's not exactly for adults, rather it's for mature teens, but then YouTube decides to age restrict it anyway? Well, I don't, because I use Newgrounds, with world's best age rating system ever. Now I hear you say, but blah blah blah, I'm a retard who doesn't understand what any of these 5 categories mean. Well, don't worry, little PogChamp, for I am here to teach you about the basics of what you should know already by now. Lesson 1. What is the ETMA system? The ETMA system is so basic that I might as well just sing a song about it. E is for everyone, that includes children. T is for teenagers. M is mature content, so basically it's 16 plus, and A is for adults cause it's porn. Lesson 2. What is nudity? Nudity refers to the amount of skin that is shown in an image. For example, this image will be considered some nudity, because you can see her body, but you can't see her genitals or nipples, so therefore it's not lots of nudity. So let me just check that box in the middle. There. There is an exception to this rule, of course. If your video is made for educational purpose, nipples and genitals are allowed. So next time you want to draw some guy sucking a woman's breast, just make the guy underage and say, it's called breastfeeding and it's natural. Lesson 3. What is violence? Violence refers to everything related to fighting and murder and all that shit. So for example, if I hit my friend, ow, what the hell was that for? Then I'd be showing some forms of violence. But if I were to make him bleed, then I better not show any guts or gore or limbs flying around or whatever. The amounts of blood also matter. Now because I did show you all this, I'd have to mark this video as lots of violence. One exception might be if it's biblical, considering the fact that the Bible is aimed towards children. Although I'm not 100% sure, because some of that stuff even gives me nightmares. Lesson 4. What is explicit? Cursing is considered explicit. However, there is a huge exception here. It all depends on how much you're cursing, why you're cursing, and what you're saying. For example, I can say, fuck this shit, I'm out. That would be considered some forms of explicit content. But I cannot say, you fucking got my balls, yeah. Because that is considered lots of explicit content. However, over here you can see there's a difference between explicit audio and text. Lesson 5. What the fuck is the difference? I am assuming explicit audio refers to moaning and sexual shit, while text refers to cursing. So for example, if I were to say, ooh yeah baby, that will be considered some. While, ah fuck yeah you slutty cock, let me peck you real hard, will be considered lots. I think. I'm not 100% sure about this. I mean, I got away with cursing in a video where I said there's non-explicit audio, some explicit text, so... Lesson 6. How is adult themes different from all of the above? Well, sexual content and nudity aren't the same. Also drugs, lots of it. And I guess shocking themes that may not be suitable for everyone counts as well. You know, stuff like neglect and abuse, rape, drugs, overdoses, incest, pedophilia, and other shit like that. Now since I mentioned those things out loud, I am assuming I just did what we call talking about it. That will be considered some, since I did not show you and is therefore not lots. And these were my 6 lessons on age restriction. Now, I have a great idea. How about YouTube for once use the same system as Newgrounds? Wouldn't that be great? I think that's a wonderful idea. And now watch my comment section call it a bad idea because they completely missed the point, lol. Anyway, this was my PSA. Are there any questions? Yeah, can I go home now? No.